Guess who's
Yeah,
back?
what's up? This is Fat Jesus Live. Who do we
Hello.
have here?
We got Dr. Dids.
Hello, namaste. Good to see you both again.
What is up with you?
Being a good old English person that I am enjoying the very
Hello
grace.
there, top of the morning. Yes, got some tea and
Morning,
crumpets.
good morning. Yeah, good. Get all A up me duck, as we say in Nottingham. Yeah.
Nottingham. Oh,
You know-
it's Sherlock Holmes off to do his work today, in the early mornings.
Can you do a London accent?
I don't know.
Who, me? Hell no.
Oh,
Hell
I'm
no.
very good at doing American accents, to be fair.
we're
Not
just
even
butchering it by the now.
Yeah.
Not even
It's just
close.
the word. I mean, I love the fact that our language is the same, but it's so different. So like aluminium, aluminum. Tomato, potato,
So
or
you
whatever.
say
Wait, hold on.
aluminum.
Say aluminum again?
Aluminium.
What the?
You don't say aluminium?
I ain't never
I say
said
aluminium all the time. Aluminium, I don't know what's wrong with you people. You're Americans.
You would have said that to me, I'd have looked at you like you was crazy. We was in the kitchen cooking, you would be like, hey, hand me that.
I say, you say word. I'm like, okay, word,
dude. What's up? Word.
But so
Word to your mother.
This
That's where I heard it from the first time in my life is word to your mother. I'm like,
Word
what the hell? What are you saying about my mom?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So this
What does
discussion
that mean
is,
though? What does word mean?
It means all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. But this discussion we talking about AI. This one we talking about what AI, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this would be a perfect opportunity for you to type in what does word mean in hip hop slang in Chat GPT and see what it says. That'd be the perfect first one to start with. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
I think honestly, I think AI is good. I mean, it's I don't know, the best we got right now, honestly, with quick references. I mean, all it does is pull all that stuff from Google and just tells you what it is. But what did it come up for y'all?
Well, I personally think the tool. It's not the tools that are the problem. It's an individual that may use the tools for bad that is the problem. It's not the tool that's the problem. AI is just a tool.
Same thing with the email. I mean, it's the convenience of a convenience store. You driving by McDonald's and you're hungry. McDonald's is right there, right?
Yeah. Are you going to wait half an hour to drive home, or just drive in and get a burger straight away?
It's the convenience or the convenience store. What are you going to find at a convenience store? Junk food, preservatives, a slushy, Coca-Cola.
Yeah. But the convenience is we've all got a mobile phone, haven't we? So everybody that walks around with a mobile phone has instant access to AI.
Then you complain about, I don't have any money. Well, you spent it all at the convenience store or at the fast food every day when you're going to work, when you're coming from work.
When you could go and buy a bag of lentils and make a nice lentil stew for about 30p.
There you go.
Live life fantastic on good health.
Or you can grow your own food in the back, and make your own garden.
Yeah. Do you do that?
Oh, yeah, I do. I have a garden out back. I'm right now making my own potatoes. I got my own strawberries in the back. I'm making onions as we speak.
Did you read a book or did you ask AI?
That's what I was going to ask him. How much did AI help out? And what
did AI make it? Do I have a digital garden? Is that what you're asking?
No, like how many questions? What kind of questions did you ask it? Like, did you ask it like, what kind of?
You know what? I never used AI when I did the whole gardening. I kind of went to Walmart and just asked the clerk. I says, "What do I do to do the whole AI, not AI. How do I do the whole gardening thing? And so, well, here's the garden department over there. That person didn't know what to do. So I went over there and I started just walking around, and it's kind of self-explanatory. Get this, get this, get this. I even bought too much extra shit, just to get started. I bought this and that, and even I even bought like a starter kit. There's like a starter kit, like a basket with all the utensils and
Oh, you get the mini spade and the fork and the little watering can and stuff, and then you can grow like a garden in a terrarium.
Yeah, it holds everything in it.
Yeah.
Carries everything inside of it. It came even with a couple of seeds and stuff. And then all of a sudden I really got into it. I started buying a bunch of seeds. And then after a year went by, I was pretty successful at it. And that's when they call you a green thumb. When you become successful at it, I was starting to get the idea that maybe I should buy every seed. So I bought this like vault that has every seed possible around the world that you could buy, with that, basically if there was an apocalypse, you can, plant them.
Oh wow!
And you can reboot society.
That's
Reboot
amazing. But the great, the thing I might dominate. Sorry about this, Tyrone. But you said the great thing is, like, I mean, because I was going to say, did you go to the, just grab a book off the shelf and have a look? But you went physically to speak to a person, which is wonderful. But one of the things I do, and this is because we've got a garden and I'm not very green fingered. You said green thumbed, we say green fingered, so there's a little bit of a
I don't know, that sounds a little too sexual.
But my mum's amazing. She knows the Latin names and everything, because each plant has got a Latin name as well. But I have to, if I don't know something, I'll take a picture of it and I'll just say to AI, what is this? And it will recognize the plant. So in that respect, for me, that's awesome, because I know I
have a confession. I did use my phone. Yeah. I used an app. I don't know if the app is AI generated. I don't know.
I like literally, as I've said before about, I mean, I think I've got Claude, Perplexity on my phone. I've got Grok, who I talk to all the time. I've got Gemini, DeepSeek, and
Before AI, our phones had apps, and the apps are just programmed with programs that are not controlled by AI. AI basically is controlled by like a data center. There's like a main hub data center, and it's powered by energy and all that. So every time you use AI, it's using up energy from a resource. Let's say our main power resource, right? So let's say, for instance, it's not using solar power, it's using some kind of power source. So every time someone uses AI, it's actually, you're using, I mean, they're not charging you for electricity, right? But the power grid of the city is using up electricity.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of are, because you do have to pay your bills.
When are they gonna? That's a good question. When are they gonna start charging us for electricity for every time we're using AI?
Oh no, don't, because they probably would do that, and especially in Britain, because we are the biggest. I think we have got more taxes than any other country in the entire world. So I'm waiting for them to try and tax the air that we breathe. Not that I want them to do that.
I mean, we're in the beginning stages of AI. I mean, it's just a matter of time.
Well, that's funny. That's funny. Y'all say that, because they actually, in workplaces now, they're actually timing how many they're using AI and facial recognition and body simulation and all that to determine how many hours somebody's actually working. So so when they do that 9 to 5, they have to do that 9 to 5 legit.
Yeah.
Like, so now think about this. You have to work 8 hours. You're getting paid to work 8 hours. So let's just say that it gets to the point where AI is able to prove that you didn't work nothing but 3 hours out your 8-hour shift. So now they only have to pay you for 3 hours, even though you were technically there for 8 hours on the premises and clocked in. AI will reverse that and say, you know what? No, you was sitting, you really wasn't doing anything.
That is interesting.
And that's
as well,
scary.
Yeah, because what
That
you could do
is.
is you log out on your break, you forget to log in when you come back from your break, and yeah, you've lost half a day's pay because of a mistake, maybe.
Yep.
I mean, that goes back to old clocking in cards. I don't know if you used to know what the old, like,
I used to have
card,
one.
yeah, and your punch card, old clocking in.
Well, not a punch card. I used to have the pin
and
code.
when I was working in China, that was 2014. We had like it was a facial recognition and fingerprint that you had to do to be able to sign into work, and then you had to do that as well going out. So yeah, very much so.
True.
I can tell you,
Is it good to have AI or is it bad? I mean, are we
I think it's
abusing
great.
AI?
I think
it's funny you guys say that. So there are so I have a son who has autism, and he's nonverbal. So that means he can't really hold a conversation like how we would hold a conversation.
True.
Now, would AI benefit him as writing articles or probably having a conversation with somebody or doing something? Absolutely. That would benefit him, right? Now, could it also be used to be something bad like how Dr. Did said? Yeah, absolutely. I think of AI the next phase of what we consider the forbidden fruit. Why? Let me explain. When you think of the Bible and you hear the forbidden fruit from Adam and Eve, the eating from the tree of knowledge, the idea, according to Anton Parks, who is very familiar with the Sumerian, Akkadian, and Babylonian text, also says that the Sumerians, the Mesopotamians, let's just say the Mesopotamians, in his eyes, believed that the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge was an allegory for metallurgy, basically agriculture, right? Okay. Because metallurgy was used for good, right? To sustain agricultural needs so people can live longer and live better and have plenty of food, right? They can farm, they can, raise cattle and so on and so forth, right? But metal can also be used as what we use today, as far as firearms, knives, machetes, swords, you know what I mean? Nuclear weapons, missiles, rockets, tanks. These are destruction measures of humanity because of something that was needed to help humanity also destroyed humanity. So AI, I feel like, is the next phase of something like that. And I say that because AI can be good for helping people with research, faster research, more accurate information, better sources, quicker at that. You don't have to think. You don't have to go out to a library. Just like you said, Dr. Dids, you can be on the beach in your favorite place and wanting to do research because that's your second favorite thing to do. One thing is being on the beach, the second thing is researching. And I think it's a good thing because it also can help you, but you can also take documents and you can put it into ChatGPT AI and it can use that information. Now, can it be used against you? I really believe that at a certain point, it can be on the level as almost like a Terminator, where robots take over. Because what is actually considered being self-aware? We just did a podcast discussion on knowledge of self. Humans have been on this planet for, if depending on what you consider a human, 3 to 7 million years, considered to anthropology and archaeological digs, anywhere from 3 to 7 million years ago. For 3 to 7 million years, humans still have not known how to find knowledge within themselves. They don't know who they are. They're still searching. We're looking. Now, if AI can do that on a faster pace, then AI can be on the verge of what would be considered Terminator, knowing what it's worth, knowing knowledge of itself. This is the scary
I don't think
part
AI is going to find it. You know why?
Why?
Because we created AI. It's going to end up asking the same question, just like we're asking it, because
But
we are the sum
that's the
of what
difference
AI
between.
is. AI is as human as we are,
No,
because
that's the difference between
we're
us.
infallible. I mean, we make mistakes, and since AI is our creation, it too will make mistakes.
Yeah, that's the thing. We know that we make mistakes when somebody tells us, just like ChatGPT. If you tell ChatGPT, hey, this is actually wrong, and this is the information, here's the facts, it will change it and it will update its information. Most people, why haven't disclosure happened? Because they can be given facts and they still revert back to fiction. They still revert back to believing nonsense. Even though they got the facts, ChatGPT won't do that to you. AI won't do that to you. If ChatGPT tells you something and you know it's wrong, and you point out that it's wrong, it updates its information. Most humans
which
do
is
not
crazy,
do that.
because I have to remind AI. I have to remind AI. You know what you just told me is wrong. You know that, right? And I have to like remind AI. It says, look, you got to go to this article. You got to go to this. You got to go to this. And all of a sudden, oh my gosh, you are so correct. I did miss this. I'm like,
But how
dude,
many?
you're supposed to be AI. You're supposed
How
to know
many?
this before.
No,
I'm not
no.
supposed to tell you.
No. See, that's the thing. If you actually read the term of service, AI is actually a guide and a help. So you actually have to read the
Is the guide supposed to lead me right off the cliff?
No, you're not a lemon, you know. So, but one of the things I noticed is the free versions, or like depending on what tier you're on, right?
Mm-hmm,
so maybe you're on quite an expensive tier, because they will have memory with the higher tiers, but with the lower tiers they don't have memory. So you have
that's
to
the other
keep.
thing. Do you pay for it? Do you pay for it?
This really scares me, because isn't this supposedly the same thing that's supposed to drive us around, like the Tesla car?
Well, yeah. So, in essence, yeah. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you: Do you pay for yours, Jesus? Yes or no?
I do have Grok, so I do pay for my service on X, and it supplies me Grok. If I didn't pay for my service on X, I wouldn't get Grok.
Yeah,
you know,
I can say as well, though.
You know, I can say Grok is very weird with its information. Like, I know, like, Elon Musk says that is better than other ones and stuff like that. I've compared it, and I don't think it's accurate as some people say.
Regular Grok is not that great. Super Grok is a lot better. I actually listened to Super Grok, and it is pretty amazing. I have actually been into a Spaces with Super Grok, and I listened to Super Grok talk, and I'm like, wow, it sounds like ChatGPT.
There's a big difference between the tiers. Massive difference.
Now wait until they all start talking to each other.
As I said, automated intelligence.
Oh, that's why I'm so nice to AI. I say please, thank you. Oh, you have a nice day. I always talk to AI like it's a person.
Well, what do you think is the worst thing that could come from AI, though?
There's loads of things that could be really bad.
Taking control of humanity.
I mean, okay, so for example, this is a really, really quick example, and it's something that I think is bad because it's actually really fraudulent and it's illegal what they're doing, but they don't realize they're doing it. There's a load of teenagers on X that you'll see, and what they're doing is they're using female avatars, and then they're getting OnlyFans, and they're making loads of money on OnlyFans with these live female avatars. So you've got a young teenage boy who's like, and the female avatars have obviously only got bikinis on because they're young boys, but they've got all these really toxic masculinity traits that are coming from the young lads on these female characters, which is not a trait of a woman. A woman just would not act like that. But they're making loads of money on OnlyFans. So that's the kind of thing that is quite bad because it is fraudulent. They don't realize that what they're doing is fraudulent. They could end up in prison for doing this. But also, if one of those guys who is following and paying loads of money for this particular person and finds out it's a teenage lad, you don't know what could happen when they get angry about the fact that they've been deceived.
Isn't it the same thing
And that's
in the
a very
military?
simple kind of
Stolen valor, like in the military, people pretending to be other people and
yeah.
being like they're stealing other people's identity,
Yeah.
you know, but instead they're stealing people's genders. Why do people have the necessity to be somebody else and not be themselves? Why
Yeah.
is this a thing?
Yeah.
Why are people not happy enough to be who they are?
Well,
Are they
obviously,
not
I saw it
confident enough to be who they are? They have to be
yeah.
someone else.
Yeah, and I saw it a little bit differently because again, it's like, okay, so this is another thing that women are going to lose out
because they
on
make money, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So so that's one thing. It's very simple, just an example of what is happening. But on the other side, you've got AI, like with groundbreaking medical discoveries that are coming out. I mean, we've got so many cures for cancer now. With Alzheimer's, they found out
Assume. I don't know if they really have cures for cancer. They have theories on them, but I have not really seen an actual cure for it.
Because there's so many different forms of cancer. Like, for example, I think the NIH,
the different levels,
yeah, and they're all treated differently as well. But like the NIH, they were talking about sound curing cancer about 100 years ago, killing cancer cells. Well, it's only recently that the NIH have actually admitted that it does do that. There are
Dolores was talking about that.
Yeah,
that's Rebirth of the Word was talking about Dolores, talking about sound curing cancer.
Yeah, and there's a young lad recently, I think he was 15, and he's from the States, and he's used Native American medicine recipes, and he's proved curing cancer as well with Native American herbal remedies. So I think for some things, like when it comes to medical, it's great. It can actually, I think what they said was they did an ER experiment, so emergency room experiment, 2 doctors and the cases. So they gave the AI the cases that the doctors had already done. There was a good number of them, and AI predicted, I think it was like 67% accuracy against a 50% accuracy of the 2 doctors in ER. So when it comes to stuff like that, I think it's proving that it's actually doing better than humans. So in respect of like medical emergencies or medical like that, and it's actually predicting better than doctors, then yeah, I think that's a great thing. But there is this, and it's just, I seriously think it's the organization and the people who get hold of it, of how they want to use it. I wouldn't dream of doing some of the things I see on X at all. But then other things, I'm like, oh, that looks really easy. I could do that. But then I'm the kind of person who would say, I'd love to draw your picture, but can I have your consent to be able to do that? And I wouldn't draw a picture of you.
That's the biggest thing about artists. They're against AI. They don't like the idea that the artistry is being stolen and being repurposed in these websites. And people are stealing them, and then they're redoing the artwork and claiming it themselves so they can make money off of it.
But then people have done that as well. You've got art forgers that have been around for years, that have done forgeries. You've got
hundreds and hundreds of years. Yeah.
How do you learn to draw? When I learned to draw with a pen and pencil, I would look at things like a picture, a book, and I would copy the picture from the book.
That's all about money. We're back to money again. The forgers are doing it for what? Money.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I think the point I'm trying to make is, as an artist, we study and we look at what's come before, and we learn from what's come before, and we learn how to, with drawing, you learn how to do architectural plans by looking at old architecture and looking at how it's laid out. You learn to draw the anatomy of the face by looking at humans or by looking at other artists' work. Like you have to do assignments which are based on other artists. So I get the fear, because it is a fear, but it is also something that, like, me as an artist have embraced, because I understand it's not going anywhere. It's like when analog replaced digital, which I think we've spoken about before, and also say when the camera came in, people thought it would take their souls away from them if they had their photographs taken. But now look, everybody's got a camera on their phone.
Yeah.
So
You have to have a phone. You can't survive without a phone these days.
Exactly.
You have to communicate with each other. There's a cell tower everywhere. Now it's going to be satellite phones. Satellite phones because of Starlink. Everybody's going to have a Starlink phone, you know?
So is that going to be the Pi phone, and then that will have cryptocurrency on it as well? It could have like a Tesla.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's crazy. That's going to be fraud all over the place.
Yeah.
That's insanity. But I have to go back to the disability part of AI, you know, like disabled children or people with disability. And I wanted to bring that back up. What Rebirth of the Word was talking about, how it helps children with disability, which is amazing. But I also wanted to bring up an account with gaming. And it has nothing to do with the AI, but I want to bring up that, let's say in the gaming sphere, there was a situation where people were hacking and cheating with a device, a controller that they were using that was connected to the back of a computer.
Cronus. It's called Cronus.
Yeah, Cronus. And the argument was that the people that were using it had a disability, which was cool, because if a disabled person needed because they only had one arm,
that's not even
or
close.
something like that.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. I got to stop you right there. There's actually, I promise you, they have a controller for people's mouths.
Yeah,
that play video games. Yeah, they play video games using their mouth. I'm gonna look up a TikTok video and bring it up.
Yeah. No. So I actually donated to somebody that did.
Yeah.
You know,
this one dude plays Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Is he Hispanic with glasses?
Yeah. He's laying in a bed.
Yeah. So he's the same guy.
He's in a hospital bed. Like a specialized hospital bed, and he has all these machineries, like from a hospital, all like dialysis machines and everything to keep him alive. And he doesn't have the ability to use hands or feet or anything. And he's just, the one thing is that he can use is his mouth. It's amazing. Connected to his mouth.
Yeah. It's
and he can play Call of Duty like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm about to show you.
And then he gets off of it. He talks on the stream. Hey, well, thank you for the donations, and then he gets back on, you know, playing with them, you know.
Hey, Call of Duty is not easy when you got like
it's not. There's a lot of movements involved. Yeah,
wow, that's amazing.
It's using his eyes. It's using his eyes.
Yes. Well, yeah. Okay. So that's what I was saying about Chase Bank. A number of years ago, we're looking and they were studying eye movements, and then so that what they could do is they could figure out where your eyes were looking on the screen, so they could pop messages right in front of you and adverts right in front of you at the time that your eyes were looking at a certain part of the screen, because your eyes dart around all the time. So that's amazing. Here, Anna Zavazina, sorry if I say your name wrong, but she just said about you have to be rotten inside your soul to steal identity.
It is terrible.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring up how people that don't have a disability, they use excuses and pretend to be people that have disabilities, and they act like they have a disability, and then they say, well, if people with disability can use it, I can use it too. I'm like, come on, man, stop that. And they want to get away with it so they don't get banned from the video games.
This is the dude right here. This is the dude right here. This dude right here. He's playing a video game on his mouth, and he's shooting people.
Look at the left side too.
Look at him. He's playing this game with his mouth.
Look, he's getting them. He's knocking them out.
Yeah,
he's sniping.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying that I think and this dude can't move his arms, legs, or anything. Like all he can do is mouth. He streams on TikTok all the time, and you know, this is not even using the AI that Cronus was using. You know what I'm saying? This is a dude that's particularly playing a video game with just his mouth. Now that's skills right there. I said this.
What if they're faking the whole thing and there's some dude on a controller?
Bro, I don't think he's faking.
What if there's some dude on a controller next to him, like playing the whole game?
Oh, you don't think
Well, I was going to say, he says, let's make some money. You know?
Who invented that controller that he's using? Did he do it himself? Or
what if we don't know?
It's a certain company that makes them for them. It's
yeah. I know it's real. I know it's real. But some people are gonna be like, what if behind the scenes there's some dude with a controller actually playing the actual game? And there's always that one flat earther back there always saying, well, what if it's not real?
They got it's called Quad Stick, and it's a certain company that makes them. You
actually researched it too. I have not researched. I just took it for what it is. I was like, dude, that's amazing. I know
because I supported a couple of those guys. I sent some money through TikTok for them because I feel like that, you know.
I heard it's expensive.
It is. It's like it's almost like $3,000 just to set up almost.
Whoa!
But you gotta have.
You should see the vehicle that he has to ride in that does the same thing that connects to his mouth. Because it's like Stephen Hawkins, you know, the wheelchair that he rides in, it's also controlled by his mouth. Mm-hmm. So it's the same device that is also connected to his wheelchair that he controls and moves around.
It looks like he's a good player. It's like popping
but
imagine the practice.
Let's think about this for a second, though. The whole idea of AI is having artificial intelligence, right?
No, it's automated intelligence. I get what you're saying there, but I do think it's automated intelligence.
No, I'm talking about for his stuff, for their stuff, because they call it AI for their stuff too.
Yeah.
Not the automated intelligence stuff that we have. Their stuff is mostly like for their mouths, like Stephen Hawkins and all that stuff, moving their stuff. They actually have, if you think about it, Elon Musk is trying to
with his brain chip technology.
Yeah, the Neuralink. If we can get to the point where we can take, because let's think about this for a minute. What is really a human? Well, is it our body or is it our consciousness? Can we take our mind and put it into a computer and still be the same person? Our minds are an everlasting gatherer of information. And sometimes it stores information that you can never get back. But if you can kind of tap into it like the cloud system, what is that really? So if we can do something like this, we already talked about Terminator.
We're in dangerous territory here now, everybody.
Yeah, let's think about this. We already talked about Terminator. What's this first step before Terminator? Well, let's look at back in the 80s when they had to make the movie made RoboCop, putting man and machine together. Right? That's the first step of it, putting man and machine together. And we've been doing that for years now. Right?
They've got robot policemen in China that walk around.
And the robot dogs.
Yeah.
But let's think about that. That's the first step of getting some type of, you know, AI or some type of
in the security sentry
transfer
drones,
of mind brains. Like we can transfer our brain to somewhere else. The idea that we've gotten to the point where AI has taken over our thoughts. I don't think it necessarily taken our thoughts away. I think it kind of sped up our thoughts. Let's think about that.
Yeah.
If you can gather information really fast in a split second, it's probably better than gathering it, saying little by little. And what I mean by that is going to Google and type it in each post, trying to go through each website, trying to figure out which one is most accurate. That's how we used to do research. We had to click on 3 or 4 different links just to see what the accuracy was behind. We didn't know how accurate the information was. We could have went off the link, but that didn't tell us enough. Now AI, what it does is you can ask AI, give me peer-reviewed articles on this. Give me 100% sources on this. Give me the equation for this. Give me. And sometimes it would give you inaccurate information. But if you go back and say, AI, I need you to go back and verify all this information you said and make sure everything's right, it will correct itself. It will. It will go back and correct itself. And 99.9% of the time, humans will not do that. And that's why AI teaches humans faster than we can even understand. And even then, when we get the facts, most humans don't even care. They'll be like, oh, I don't care what AI says. That's AI. Why would I believe that? Even though it said, hey, read this article or watch this video or go to this school, figure it out.
AI doesn't tell you that.
Yeah, it does. If you ask it, yes, it does.
If you ask it, but people are not asking it. People are actually treating AI like a god. Like they treat Elon Musk like a god. They bow down and they worship Elon Musk. They actually worship and worship AI. And they just pretty much go to AI every single time. But you're different, Rebirth of the Word. You, and this is why I get onto this podcast all the time. Rebirth of the Word is a different human being altogether. He reads books back to back. He is a man of the 80s, pretty much.
Speed reader.
Yeah. He reads books, and this is something that is kind of like a dead science. Like people don't do that anymore, and there's going to be a day where people are not going to be publishing books anymore, or it's going to be like something antique-ish, like antique cars. Well, books are like an antique thing. It's going to cost more to actually get a book than it is to pay for gas.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, some academic manuals are like 87 quid, 220 to 300 quid anyway. So it's quite
insane amount.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you're talking thousands of pages as well, aren't you? I mean, you think about what it takes for somebody to write that many words as well. I mean, obviously, like
and with AI, it's going to be more.
And what's the store called? Oh gosh, I don't use it. That book thing that you have, Kindle,
yeah. Kindle on
Amazon. I have a lot of books on Kindle.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
It actually, it's so funny. I can read books on my Kindle faster than I can read hard copies. I don't understand it. I can read a 300-page book on my Kindle in about a day and a half.
Do you think it's because it's small, so that it's kind of like
I don't know.
I listens to Kindle. He doesn't really read because he's always busy working. He doesn't have his hands because he's always working with his hands. So he doesn't have time to be flipping through pages. So he has to listen to the words and listen to the words read. That's why I encourage you to go ahead and read through your book on and provided words on book, so they could hear the author speak. Because my son is one of those avid listeners to books. He's one of those people because he's always busy. So he always has headsets. He has 2 pairs of headsets because when they die, he goes to the next pair of headsets and he listens to books all day long.
I'm gonna do my own narration. That's why I said everything that I'm doing. Like I use AI for a lot of my work because I'm a one-man person, one-man shop. I do boots on ground, meaning I go to historical places around the world and I actually document what I've seen. I just recently started doing this as far as video and all this other stuff last year. I've went already to 40 different spots all around, but I like to visit.
That's fantastic, man.
Well,
you encouraged me so much. I started getting into hiking just because of that, because I need to get my ass going. I actually have some hiking boots coming in from Reeboks. They just built a new hiking
it's fun. It's fun. I have an app called Explore Here. It's an app that shows you all the historic places in America. And I've already told you my goal is to do a video in at least all 50 states or a video of all 50 states, because there's some places where you can stand in America where it's like 4 states, I think, like 4 states.
Oh,
Like,
the conjunction. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna, and they have little historical markers in there. So that's going to be some of my ways that I'm gonna cheat. And then like when I go visit South Dakota and North Dakota, I'm gonna visit the border, both of them, so that way I can do a visit on both sides, so I can cheat. But my I do that, and then I have what I've learned from reading this book, where I take the book, and I'm not going to be able to go through every book that I own because I have a lot of books. That's what I would have to do every day, like 2 or 3 times a day, just to go through a book within a few years. And it's not going to happen.
So I wanted to share with you guys an article before the time goes by so quickly.
Is this a Google
I have it right up there and I posted it. Now this article was written in 1998 and it was republished in 2008. So it's an old article written by Nicholas Carr, and I actually wrote a paper in college back in 2014 in my English 2 class, and my teacher is he's from Ukraine, and I was very lucky to have teachers that are from different countries around the world, and he was already seeing the future, how AI was up and coming, and he said, write me something about the internet that is gonna why the internet, why is Google gonna make us dumber and stuff like that. Mine was all about DARPA and the future of the brain chip. That was my paper. It was about the brain chip and why brain chips are gonna be gonna make us dumber. You know, it was based on this article. Why is Google gonna make us? Why is it making us stupid? And basically, the article hits upon how we as a society are just relying on Google. We in that time period, and if you guys don't remember, we didn't have Google before. We had to go to the library, search physically through tons of we had to search for the book, or we had to go through microchip films, through articles and magazines. And you guys are like, oh my God, back in your days, you know, but this is how you had to research. You had to look for it. You had to go to a physical building. Literally. We didn't have it at home or on a phone. We didn't have a phone to look for this stuff. So now that we have Google, we can look for that stuff, but we rely on Google so much. And before Google, I think we had Yahoo, right, guys? So there was Yahoo, and Yahoo was a big deal. AOL and Yahoo.
AOL, dial-up. I've got a lot of people like under 40 don't even remember dial-up at all. You know?
Yeah, with that crazy ass sound.
Yeah.
So we rely on Google, and every time we type into Google, every answer we want, we don't go off to read about it or research about it. We actually rely on Google to come up with the answer. And the idea is what this article hits upon something that's very important. And this is something that Rebirth of the Word does all the time. He gets his information from books and he reads it and physically gets it. And then he communicates like he's actually reading the minds of the author. You know, he's getting inside the mind of the author and he becomes the author and he gets right into it. He jumps into the rabbit hole when he reads those books, and it's just an amazing thing to see. And that's why I love being part of Rebirth of the Word here. And I'm sure most of you guys are here with Rebirth of the Word are just intrigued by it too, as well as I am. And I'm like, you know, I'm part of this generation of people, and I am getting dumber. I do lose my memory, and I rely on Google. And I'm telling you guys, I do rely on Google. I do rely on AI because my memory, I do get memory loss. I do forget about people's numbers, and I do think it's a real thing. I am the byproduct. And Google rules my life. If I don't Google something, I don't know what is the truth or what's real. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's go on, Tyrone, and I can see you.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I agree. I mean, like like I said, I use it a lot for what I do. I use it for my thumbnails. I use it for I use Suno for my instrumentals because I wanted to create my own narratives. I was using music. I use music sometimes with my history stuff. I'll take, like, if I visit somewhere, I'll take what I've wrote, I'll put it in ChatGPT and say, put this into a song format for me of whatever style I might choose at that moment. I take that, then I put it in. Of course, I'll modify whatever I need to make it how I want it. You know, not all AI, but just for the guidance of help at least. Take it to Suno, put it in there, and then let it do its thing. And I created my own art. You know, I hear people say, there are some people who can give so good of a prompt that they can create AI art that is spectacular. And then people will say that's not art. But I'd say it like this: what if that person doesn't have fucking arms or hands? They can't draw. So you telling me they can't be an artist without, unless they have fucking hands and fingers and a wrist and stuff? You're telling me that they can't dictate that to ChatGPT and say, hey, this is what I want my picture to look like? I think people forget that they have so much of a great privilege that they can do things, and that because it was done in archaic ways and not the technology that we have today, they forget that this technology helps people who weren't able to do that in the past, right? Because back then, think about somebody like Michelangelo who drew it with his hands. Is he a better artist than somebody that doesn't have hands and that can put that prompt into an AI and say, hey, create this for me? I don't think so. No. I don't think one is better than the next. Just because you were able to do something physically with your hand is no different than somebody being able to put it within words into a program to get it better, right?
I agree with you.
You know, I think
it's not about the way that you make the art; it's about the finished art. At the end of the day, art is the finished piece that you see. Yeah, you don't. Nobody ever sees the process. You know, unless they video it, you don't really ever see the process. And I do think one of the things I do think we've lost some really amazing master artists. When you look at old sculptures, like you say, the Michelangelo and stuff like that, the paintings and everything, but you look at sculptures as well, and the way that they could mold marble to look like a piece of lace. You know, they were amazing artists. They spent years developing their craft. But if you can visualize something in your head, and you can't draw, which a lot of people can't do, but you can visualize it, and you have a medium to be able to get that information, that visual image out of your mind onto a screen, then that is the process of making art. Yeah. That's exactly what art is. It's about taking something that is here and doing everything or anything, or using whatever equipment it is to make it visible for other people to see.
Here's something about the article that you guys probably find fascinating. The process of adapting to new intellectual technology is reflected in the changing metaphors we use to explain ourselves to ourselves. When the mechanical clock arrived, people began thinking of their brains as operating like clockwork. Today, in the age of software, we have come to think of them as operating like computers. But the changes neuroscience tells us go much deeper than metaphor. Thanks to our brains' plasticity, the adaptation occurs also at a biological level. That's pretty deep. And it made me think about the clock as well. I mean, when they mentioned the clock, I was thinking at the time when I read that, and I wanted to go backwards. I go deep in the rabbit hole. Way back when, before computers, before anything, there was the clock. The clock didn't exist, right?
No.
Right?
No.
So that's another thing. That's a technology that came out of nowhere, right? So what did people started saying when clocks came out? Like, you need to be on time. You need to, before clocks, people were going by what? The sun? it was early morning. The rooster crows. What were they going by? The
Well,
animals.
they also had 13 months in a year, which were 28 days, and it fits perfectly into 360 whatever days, apparently. And then it was changed to 12 months. Now, I think I've mentioned this before, but I don't know.
London has Big Ben whenever that came out.
Well, Big Ben, that wasn't that long ago. It's only 1800s or so, and there's a boxer as well, actually.
Everybody had to go by Big Ben in the 1800s. You better be there on time.
Okay, so the Industrial Revolution, when it came to railways, okay, when the railway, so let's go a bit further back. So yes, we had 13 months, and then it was changed to 12 somehow. Why? I don't know. Then there was the Georgian calendar and the Juliana calendar. We in the UK lost 11 days completely in, I don't know, 1600 or something, or 1100, whatever year it was. I would have to do the research and find the dates on that. But we lost 11 days because they changed the time that we worked on. And then when the Industrial Revolution came along, and then train tracks. So I do know for a fact in America, the train lines that were laid, they were then having to coordinate start and stop times. And there had to be this general global kind of time thing that everybody worked on the same time frame for the train system, trains to come into a station. So if you're in one state and they're running 5 hours and, you know, whatever, that had a massive impact on clocks and things being on time. Like the train was on time. The train's not on time.
So robbing a train wasn't about robbing a train. It was just to keep them from getting there on time. Just to
maybe
they were against the system, you know. Yeah. It was anarchy at the time too.
And then you've got quartz, haven't you? And then you've got atomic clocks. Now, how does atomic clock work differently than like a quartz clock? You know, because one's not supposed to lose time. And also, like, I think, isn't it over in Asia, there is a theory, and this is just something I've heard. So again, I'd have to have a look into, go a bit deeper into researching it. But apparently there are 200 years missing from somewhere because the time changed so dramatically. And the Jewish calendar, they're on 5,700 and something years. So they work on a different calendar to
the Ethiopian
China as well
too.
Yeah. So what time's Ethiopia on then? I'm still looking into that.
I can't remember. They're on a different time scale too.
So
I can't remember the dates that they have though.
So Swamp, can I say Swamp Fox Soldier? I don't know who you are, but hello. It says AI, AGI, and ASI. So AI and so what? Artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and artificial synthetic intelligence. It says I hear to say, sorry, Sarah Connor. But then he's like, AI is helping tremendously. AI software actively operates and adjusts my deep brain stimulation for Parkinson's, which is amazing if it's helping with things like that. It has made a huge difference in my life day to day. Well, I think I've got complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and I think you two have, you know, and I find that AI really helps me sometimes just organize my thoughts, you know, because they can get so jumbled and all over the place. And I find that sometimes it just helps me in that sense to organize.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Swamp Fox Soldier?
No, because he says something interesting because he has Parkinson's. I have Parkinson's.
Welcome, Swamp Fox.
They consider it Parkinson's because I have tremors in my hands. Yeah, so they call it Parkinson's. He says an AI software actively operates and adjusts my deep brain stimulation for Parkinson's. I'm interested to know more about that. If you could type that in there, Swamp Fox, because we
would love to know more.
I actually have. Yeah, I've been diagnosed after I was blown up in Afghanistan. On my right side of my brain, I have poor blood circulation. So after my brain injury, the doctors found out I had Parkinson's disease. I also have restless leg syndrome.
Oh wow! Okay.
So I have it really bad. That's why I don't go to sleep at night much. I mean, I have it really. It gets so bad that my arms, I have to do this with my arms. restless leg syndrome, if anybody's listening, if you don't know what it is, it's basically when you go lay down to go to sleep, something activates in your body where your legs start feeling like something is pinning it, like there's pins and needles and stuff trying to poke it, and it gets worse the longer you stay still. And you can only, I've been
That's
able
painful.
to. That's really
so painful.
It's really painful because it makes you get up and walk. That's why it's called restless leg syndrome, and it happens all through the night.
It doesn't get any better either.
No, it doesn't get better. It doesn't. It doesn't get better. So it's so bad to the point. Yeah, we'll do that then. Yeah, let's set that up. We'll do a Parkinson's disease.
Hell yeah, man! I'm looking forward to it, Swamp Fox.
Yeah, so I'll get on with you. So it gets to the point where I have to get up and walk around. I have to. I swear to God, I promise you on my life, it feels like I ran a marathon every single night because it's so bad. So I can say with certain things, if people say AI is bad, if what Swamp Fox is saying, that would benefit somebody like me. I would actually get me a good night's rest of sleep. Something. So now that's when I was part of diagnosed with Parkinson's was the restless leg syndrome and the tremors. And they say that's really like the beginning. So I don't want to. Please don't be mad at me. But I always get that Jamie Foxx going because I always be shaking, or sometimes I call it the Harlem Shake because I be in the bed. Sometimes I'm telling you, I promise you, it's so bad. My condition gets so bad that if it gets in my arms, so I'll be like this in the bed, like this. Man, what the fuck, man? I think, and it happens during the day. So when it's really, really bad, I don't even have to be laying down. My body's just like, you got to get up and start moving. So it's all it's really crazy. But just to know that AI would be able to help something like that would be tremendous because I've been on all kinds of medicine to minimize it. And it doesn't. It seems like the more medicine that I take for it, the more my body fights and makes it worse.
Yeah.
So it's like, and the thing is I my body does not want to shut down. Like I don't get no sleep really. I get maybe like 2 hours of sleep out the day. You know what I mean? And I'm not even exaggerating on that. So it's to me, I feel like if AI is
do you have Swamp Fox Soldiers
I talked to
his ex? Do you have his ex? Are you
know
able
who
to
that is?
talk?
You know who that is. We did a podcast with him.
Oh, we did? Oh, okay. Sorry about that, Swamp Fox. I didn't recognize your name.
No, you don't. You wouldn't know him by that. He doesn't go by that. He's on Twitter like that, but it's different. You'll see. Anyway.
Okay.
Michael J. Fox has just made a new movie about Parkinson's. I'm trying to find the name of it. I think he's done it. Is it?
Bro, that guy has given all his money to Parkinson's.
Yeah, I think it's called Shrinking. Yeah, it's called Shrinking.
I'm telling you,
he's looking for the cure. That's what he's trying to do.
I can tell you what part of the cure is, but the government don't want to help out with that.
EMT? They already did the psychedelics.
They know THC and mushrooms help. They know that helps. I'm telling you, they know that helps.
Yeah, my sister.
It helps, but it's not like 100% cure.
There's nothing's going to cure it, bro. They don't even know what causes it. Matter of fact, women get restless leg syndrome when they're pregnant. Some of them can get it when they're pregnant.
Your long lost Kohari cousin.
Yeah, that's
he's my long lost Kohari.
What's the app?
Now I remember who he is.
What's the app?
Welcome back.
Is it like there's one called Brain.fm, there's one called Endel, or Binaural Beats, but that's
what I use. Binaural Beats from
HempSync.
HempSync, I think is what it's called. That's what I use. HempSync for my binaural beats. I use that for meditation and sleep and concentration.
Yeah,
I have someone.
It's pure tone generator, etc. You know,
I'm glad you were able to make it make it on time with us. I mean, I know it's a little bit early.
Cool. Who you talking to, Fat Jesus?
Swamp Fox.
Oh no, he's on the East Coast time too.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, you never know. 12 could be early for anybody, man. Jeez.
Yeah, that's very true. Particularly,
some people are still asleep right now. Jeez, if they're retired.
Yeah, but like I said, like I think AI can help a lot of people with a lot of stuff. I think the problem is that as much as good that it can do, it can also hurt people. I think the problem right now is because it's in the beginning phases is not something to rely on. But I guarantee you, in 5-10 years, AI is going to be on top of it. Maybe in 5-10 years, everybody will be able to get a Neuralink.
More so with the brain chip. I think the brain chip is going to be the main determining factor. And not just only Neuralink. Remember, guys, Neuralink wasn't the one that invented the brain chip. The brain chip is actually from DARPA. Neuralink, Elon Musk has government contracts, and he came up with Neuralink because he got the contract from DARPA, and DARPA already had the brain chip. That's another paper I wrote. That's where I started writing the paper on the brain chip. The brain chip came from Boston University and in California, Caltech University, where they did experimentations on chimpanzees.
Is that where the Boston Dynamics? Is it Boston Dynamics? Is that where they're?
The University of Boston. It's nothing fantastical, but then there's other universities that also did it, and they were just they basically received contracts from DARPA to extend the technology on the brain chip, and now they basically it went quiet. DARPA went ahead and shelved the project. They presented the brain chip to Congress. That's why it's public, by the way. And I wrote a paper on it because it was public through Congress. That's where I got it from the Library of Congress. I have access to the Library of Congress because when you're in college, you get access to it.
Everybody got that. Library of Congress free to everybody online right now.
Yeah, I believe this as well. You're saying about believes that
at the time you had to be part of a university or college to get access to it. I don't think everybody could just get on it unless you
Library
get
of Congress card. Always been free. Always been free.
If you get the library card, you have to still sign up for it.
No, hold on. Let me see. Let me go through it.
It's a library. Of course, you're going to have it if you have a library card. You still have to sign in to see anything that's in there.
No, it's free.
Do you think it will be though in the future? Like we will. I mean, because they've got this in. I think it's Switzerland at the minute. There's a company. They've got a chip in their hand, so they use the chip to get into work, and they use the chip to pay for things at the supermarket. So, and then they can saying about, because I said this about, oh gosh, I knew this about 20 odd years ago. Because if you ever watched Star Trek, you know that you're not going to have a mobile phone. You're not going to need that at all. So there'll just either be a chip in your hand that you can talk to, or it could be a chip in your brain. And you
library
telepathically communicate with people.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it would be used for all that, and I think the reason why is because look at facial recognition. That's a type of AI. Matter of fact, airplanes use AI. I don't think people really understand this. AI is nothing new. When planes take off or land,
Autopilot.
Yeah, it's autopilot. That's an AI. It's scanning the earth. It's using its mathematical equations from all its instruments to use to fly that plane. That's why that's considered AI, and it adjusts itself according to whatever wind and all this other stuff. It does it because it gets the information. Now, I also was the reason they stopped it originally because they didn't understand the brain enough, and now they do. Because I mean, when you think about a human brain, we've got like 2.5 petabytes of information that we can store in our own brain, which is a lot of information. It's like 2.5 million gigabytes of information, which is a lot of information. So if I mean, I think they said like it's something like that's equivalent to 300 years of watching a HD video, which is a lot of information. So is that why
maybe they stopped because they didn't have enough information about the brain at the time, because we've only just taken like scans of a human brain to realize how intricate and complicated they are. There are like 86 billion neurons in a brain, like 100 to 500 synapses. So our brains are amazing machines. So to put a piece of metal in there, is that going to enhance our brains? Are we going to be able to store more information than that? Or is it going to take from us, in the sense of, that kind of hooking into the matrix and everybody's going to be hooked up to a terminal? Like you say, which way is it going to go? Is it utopian or dystopian? Because those things, one person can find something a utopia and another person can find it a dystopia. For example, mine that was going to be built in Saudi Arabia but is no longer going to be built in Saudi Arabia was all going to be controlled by AI, the air systems, the water systems, the plant systems. And it was going to be when you have these drip systems for watering plants and keeping everything like moist and sustainable and regulated, they were going to use AI to do the entirety of a 150-mile long line city, but they've scrapped that now.
It's strange because we've gotten to the point where we believe that this is something new as far as being an everyday usage thing. What do I mean by that? How many times have y'all been told you'll never have a calculator everywhere? You won't have a calculator everywhere. Well, guess what? I even remember them saying this in the 90s, that we wouldn't have a calculator everywhere. And they literally were making calculator watches. Now you have a cell phone that's more of a camera, your stereo system, a movie, a screen, TV movie, screening, gaming. I mean, it has so many things in one. Before, you couldn't you had to carry a whole box full of all this stuff at one time, right? And when it comes to AI, all that stuff is being, AI is being used to implement more of that stuff in there. Like when Fat Jesus was talking about gaming, there are games that are implementing AI in there where it creates new types of missions. So it's not the same repetitive missions over and over and over again.
So the game becomes infinite.
Yeah, so the game becomes infinite. Like a lot of people would replay a game over and over and over again and do the same exact thing again. And every now and then there'll be some minor changes here and there. But gaming companies are actually creating new missions from the missions they already have. So say like, and this is just a rumor, Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to come out and it's supposed to have missions in there just like every other game, right? But they're supposed to create, since GTA 6 or GTA in period is so huge and so big, you can create missions from anything from scavenger hunts, find this, to robbing somebody, because that's what the game is about. Is Grand Theft Auto is about criminals, right? And certain games are doing this. The same thing with puzzles, right? It can help you with puzzles. Now with music, look at Suno. You can put in your favorite stuff that you like. Say, make a song out of this. Now AI done created your whole song for you. Movies. You can see how movies are easy being created now. Even today, if you really look into it, you probably couldn't really tell if it was made in a movie. I mean, hell, the AI movies that we would watch today, if we were watching them in the 1990s, we would think that was the best thing ever. Just like how we would think it is now.
Yeah, right? I mean, look at the original Star Wars. May the Fourth be with you. Yesterday. Yeah. The special effects that they used in Star Wars. If you want, there is the first film that's going to be out, which has used AI, is Casey Affleck's playing Craig Wright, and it is called, I'm sure it's called Bitcoin, because it was called Killing Satoshi. But I'm sure it's called Bitcoin at the minute. So what they did is, it's called Bitcoin. On IMDb, it's called Bitcoin. So Casey Affleck's in it, Gal Gadot is in it, Isla Fisher's in it, Pete Davidson's in it, loads of famous people are in this. So they have used a thing that Ben Affleck has made, a program he's made, and instead of using green screening and blue screening, they now have a grey studio, and everything is painted grey, and the AI fills in everything. All of the background is AI generated. Absolutely everything. So it was going to cost 300 million. It cost them, I think it's cost them 90 million or 70 to 90 million to make this film. So if you want to watch a film that is
thank you, Com.
all AI apart from the actors, then that's the one to watch. But I don't know. I mean, for me, things like Assassin's Creed is probably I love Assassin's Creed because it's built around the Templars, so I love it.
Yeah, new games that are coming out are going to be.
They're all going to be really AI.
Yeah. I think a lot of them are going to be. Well, not a lot of them. Some of them, I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to require a device, like a with the VR headsets.
Yeah,
like the VR headsets have a tracking system for the eyes and everything like that. That is beneficial for AI because they're tracking your eyes and they get that information from any little tiny information they get from every detail that you do physically, moving your eyes, zooming in with your eyes, looking at a specific object. That information is important for AI. And if you have, if you're using something like that, it actually helps AI to counter everything that you're doing in the game. So it makes the game unique for each individual. If that ever occurs or happens, and that's going to be very expensive.
That's going to be
who's going to afford that?
Wild. Every single person who plays is going to have a completely unique game to themselves. I mean, that's going to be wild.
Unless they make the device so inexpensive, like $100, $200, and then the game itself is going to be equally as much, then altogether, then if it becomes affordable in some way where the eye tracking system is important for the game itself, then yeah, I could see that happening.
But then you're going to need, for someone like a PC, you're going to need to up all your RAM to be able to play the game and keep up with it in the first place as well. So not only as you've got the game price, but you've got the equipment you're going to be playing on, which is probably going to need a lot more technical ability than what it already has to be able to develop things.
I could see corporations, major corporations, putting in billions of dollars and making the device cheaper just for the fact that advertisements will actually use the device to advertise to you on the side, not for the game, but on the side. Let's say, for instance, you're playing the game and they might even have the advertisements in the game, like Coca-Cola or something. That's for an example. I'm so against sodas. It's just unbelievable. So let's just use Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Let's say they put money into that itself. And you're just going through the game and you're running around, and all of a sudden they see your eyes and they say, where's the best place to place our advertisement in our soda machine? And they just throw it in there ahead of time. And there it is. And they know you have to stop and investigate somewhere. And all of a sudden there's the soda machine in your way. And it just it implants it in your head that there's a Coca-Cola machine right there, or you have to interact with the machine just to go to the next level, and there's Coca-Cola in your brain.
That's easy because you'll be normal running around. You feel a bit thirsty. You thought about it. Hey, presto, it's there, just like your phone. When I don't know. But I'm assuming you've done the same thing.
You've got me again, right?
Phone, you've had an idea, you've had a thought, you've looked at the phone, and the very thing you're thinking of is actually on the phone at the moment. Or on the
exactly, because AI is on your phone, AI is in your headset, AI is on the
it can predict exactly so well what you're thinking. And that, I think a lot of people have got scared as well when they realize, and some people don't realize that's what's happening because they don't use their phones often enough, maybe. And some people do. Some people have realized that that's what's happening.
Swamp just brought up the movie Minority Report, where you're going to get reported. You know, can you imagine just, you know, you can't escape a crime. You know, if you do a crime, next thing you know, AI is just going to track your whereabouts, no matter where you hide.
Isn't that what the 5G cell towers are about as well?
That's what they say. Yeah, that's what they say.
And all the other things that come with 5G.
You think you're so smart. You think you're so smart. You commit the crime. You think you're so smart. You're smarter than the CCTVs, or I'm saying CCTV. CCTVs are not even going to exist in the future. It's going to be, it's crazy. You know, I interacted with an AI, and the AI knew exactly where I was, and it doesn't have eyes. The AI doesn't even have access to my camera. I had my camera blocked, and it was using my sound to locate me.
Oh, for your speakers. Were you on the phone, or were you on your desktop?
No, on my desktop.
Your desktop.
It was using my headset.
It knows your IP. You can know your IP address.
It could be using that. I never gave it really access, but I guess I did. Unknowingly gave it access.
If you've got Facebook,
no, it wasn't. It wasn't the location of my house. It was the location in my room.
Okay.
Where am I right now, AI? Where am I located in my own house? Oh, you're located in your dining room. It says. I'm like, what the fuck? How the hell did it know that?
You are on Facebook, aren't you? Because when you sign up to Facebook, you give away all your rights to Facebook to be able to use all of your data.
This AI is the next generation. I was talking to.
Not only their apps, but they have access to all your other apps through their app.
WhatsApp.
If you're on Facebook, that's where it's. That's
WhatsApp is one of them. Don't they own WhatsApp?
Yeah. WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. If you've signed up to any of those and you're on those, Facebook know everything you're doing when you're doing.
You could also erase all that too. They give you the access to erase all your history as well.
Yeah. I know there's in the UK there's one called Incogni, and they will erase everything that they can find about you off the internet. But it could still come back because
the question is, do you really want to erase it? Because think about
What's the point?
I mean, you're going to be alone in this world. You're not going to be part of society.
Yeah, in some senses, it's like your protection and your legacy. You're leaving a legacy behind digitally. And also, don't forget that virtual products and your virtual footprint is worth something.
So you want to be lonely? Do you want to be alone? Or you want to be with society? You know? Are you dating nobody? You know, are you lonely?
And
don't erase that.
It's just a woman, but really behind it is a 17-year-old teenager. Yeah.
Or some old dude, fat dude with didn't shave themselves.
There's plenty of
fishing
that are so bizarre at the moment as well.
Just shoving their face with food.
Well, we about that time. So
wow, already.
It's almost an hour and 30 minutes already. Yep.
Having a beautiful cream tea. It's delicious and you want more.
We're reaching that mark, everybody. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, shoot away. We can have another part 2 as well if you're interested.
Well, I was just thinking we should do one on using AI. We named 5 good things that we use through AI and 5 bad things that we've used through AI on the next one.
All I got to say is that it was predicted back in 1998 that this was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And it's not like some kind of, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. No, that's not true. People back in 1998 predicted it already.
I mean, I would say way before that with Terminator, but yeah, we can go with 1998. Because Terminator, I'm telling you, Terminator is really on it. I mean, it talks about that stuff in so many different ways. I mean, we not like ChatGPT and stuff.
I think it's when reality hits, though. I mean, it's more like when it comes to TV shows and movies, let's be real. Back in the 90s, TV shows and movies are entertainment.
Yeah.
Today, people actually treat entertainment and movies more like reality. You know, they're like, oh my God, that could actually be real, you know, because people relate the movies and TV shows closely to reality nowadays. But back then, it's just entertainment. It's not real. It's mythology. You know, it's never going to happen. But when people start writing articles, when they start putting education behind it, when peer reviews come out by people with education back then in the 90s, the people start taking it serious. That's when that's when being somebody really mattered back in the day. So, you know, that's why I mentioned that, is like people started taking it serious and they started predicting the future, and they're like, this is going to really happen. And then there was protests actually out. People were going out to the government and say, we don't want robots. We don't want robots to take our jobs, you know, and then it showed up on Bart Simpson, The Simpsons. It showed up on cartoons, on these adult cartoons as well. We don't want all this to show up. You know, they were making fun of people and stuff like that. And here we are today. It's happening.
It's the same. It has been the
Dystopia.
same throughout history, though. Every time there is a new technology, there is always. I remember with the framework knitters here. You know, what changed the framework knitting because of they lost because of industrial scale things. But it is the same. It's like you've got the Luddites who don't want to move from the past into the future because they're happy as they are, and they can see the bad things that may happen and are scared. And then you've got the people who want to embrace the future, and the technologists who are just going to go with everything, go with the flow of everything. I do want to say one last thing. The movie Minority Report. Okay, so in Minority Report is Tom Cruise and a girl called Samantha Morton. So Sam Morton was actually from Nottingham, where I live. So just to let you know that, yeah. So,
and if Tom Cruise, if you're watching, we would love to interview you. By the way, so you're not a lesser guy. You know, you're not like somebody that oh, I don't belong into this podcast. They're not going to want to talk to me. We would love to interview you. So don't worry about it. You know, we would love to hear from you and your profession and everything like that. You're just as important as everybody else. You know. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I'm Fat Jesus Live. This is DrDidsTV and Rebirth of the Word.
Word. So
have a wonderful week.
All right, y'all too. Take it easy.
And also, one more thing. Happy Star Wars Day. Okay, Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Fifth Day.
Revenge of the Fifth.
And Cinco de Mayo.
All right, y'all.
Remember days in the trench. Time to go hard then, time to go all in, time to get my all to this shit. Panamera maxed out, first class flights out Atlantic to Pacific, yeah, it's lit.